Good morning, Theater 110 people. My name is J.Berg, and this is my theater advocacy speech for April Hubbard's 2019 spring class of Theater 110. So, there are many reasons why that we should continue to endorse and fund and support theater and the arts in general. First of all, theater has been around for thousands of years. We've witnessed this by reading some of the plays we have in class, including things like Antigone. Theater is a way, it's fun, it's a way for us to escape and live in somebody else's life for a little bit. But also, more than that, it's also good for our economy and it improves the education system that our children go through. So, first of all, let's talk a little bit about why should we support theater as an entertainment industry. So theater is just fun. I mean, I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma when I was in middle school and high school, and I was fortunate enough to live with my grandparents, and they had season tickets to the Tulsa Performing Arts Center, which had a Broadway season where they would show 6 or 7 shows, and I got to see some of the most amazing things. I got to see things like Fiddler on the Roof, Sound of Music, Aida, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, Cats, Grease, the Buddy Holly story. So many amazing, there's so many others, but so many amazing shows that I wouldn't have had access to if my grandparents didn't have those tickets and didn't take me along because they knew how much of a theater freak I was. So that's just it. It's purely entertainment. It's a way for us to escape for a little bit. It's a way for us to delve into other people's lives that we really didn't know much about before. Um, it's a great way to look at history. We can see in plays like Antigone, and then in more recent plays like The Importance of Being Earnest, they show life lessons that we can learn. Like Antigone, pride and thinking you're right all the time can lead to your downfall and the loss of things that you hold most dear, including your family. And The Importance of Being Earnest, we learn that it's probably a good idea just to be honest with people from the get-go, or else you get into this whole rigmarole of, you know, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know, is on third type of thing. But more than that, it's a way for us, like I said, to escape. We get to be involved in somebody else's life and somebody else's story for a little bit. And it's amazing to do that. The production values, the sets, the lights, the music, the acting, the directing, it's all such an amazing thing that they can bring all of these aspects together and make this wonderful production. And that's the fun thing about theater is it doesn't have to be a professional Broadway show. It can be you performing for your family in front of the TV. You know, theater is something that is great for everybody. Um, Secondly, it's really good for our economy. So I found an article in Forbes magazine by a contributor named Benjamin Wolf. It's from 2019, so it's recent. And it's entitled Why the Arts Are the Great Underappreciated Engine of the U.S. Economy. And in this article, Mr. Wolf goes on to talk about how there's this group, the Arts and Cultural Production Satellite Account, ASPSA, and the U.S. Department of Commerce did this statistical study where they found that economic activity from the arts and culture industry is up 2.9% in 2016, which was the most recent year of the report. So that's how much it's increased. Some people are continuing to support it. And in that respect, it accounted for 4.3% of the gross domestic product, which is over $800 billion. So it's not like it's not bringing in money for the U.S. economy. It really, really is. But the reason for this article, too, was to kind of let people know that Trump, as he has been doing for several years now, wants to cut the budget to the National Endowment of the Arts, or the NEA. And that is going to be severely detrimental to that industry in a whole. 5 million Americans are employed in the arts and culture related industry. It's the fastest expanding sector since 2012, and its contribution to the GDP is more than agriculture or transportation. So the arts industry contributes more money to our gross domestic product than agriculture or transportation. Like that's big, especially coming from Iowa, a farming community where we know about agriculture. So, and lastly, art education is good for our students. I found another article from a journal called Study International, also in 2019, and the article is entitled, Can an Arts Education in School Improve Academic Performance? And what they found was an overwhelming yes. The Journal of Psychology of Aesthetic, Creativity, and Arts is a journal that's quoted in this article, and they followed a large and diverse group of preschoolers through all the way through 8th grade. And they found that 40% of them were enrolled in arts programs. But at the end of the study, when they had graduated 8th grade and gone into high school, they had higher GPAs. Their math and reading scores were phenomenal, and they had lower suspension rates than the students that didn't participate in those arts programs. So, I mean, arts, drama, all of that contributes to helping students develop resilience. They develop grit and a growth mindset. It builds confidence. It helps with communication skills. They improve their cognition, and they deepen a respect for their culture and a better self-understanding of who they are as people. You know, the theater and art in general make you do that, and they make you take an inner look at yourself and see, you know, really start to understand yourself. So I guess in conclusion, I could say that not only is the theater fun and just an amazing experience, but it's good for our economy. It's good for the education of our students. So why would we want something like that to fall by the wayside and become a part of the past? No, we need to support, we need to get out there and fully immerse ourselves in the culture of theater, and we really need to help this facet of our life and facet of our culture stay around for a really long time. Thank you.